Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great day. We're actually live on TikTok and on YouTube. YouTube for the first time. Super excited about that. But anyways, guys, if you guys are here trying to find ways to fix or improve your credit, I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Ricardo. I'm a certified credit score consultant, which means that I went through extensive training on trying to find ways to um, help you understand complex credit situations, simplify all this knowledge for you, and give it to you in a friendly to understand format. So if fixing your credit is kind of like what you're going through right now, make sure you stick around because I'm going to show you how I actually went from $113,000 in charged off credit card debt in 2018. I had two car repossessions and I ended up filing for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2018. But now, fast forward to 2024, I have over $150,000 in credit limits available to my name. So I've definitely learned a thing or two of what it takes for you to be able to fix your credit. So if you want to see going from the 4s to the 5s, 5s to the 6, 6 to the 700s, and eventually into the 800 credit score, you need to learn the proper steps that you need to take in order to get there. I believe I've been doing this for far too long, guys. So I've been doing this on a daily basis now for 4 years. And I can tell you that over the last 4 years, there's people that have success in fixing their credit, and there's people that actually fail consistently. Hey, thanks for the lightning. I appreciate it. And I've noticed that there's a pattern, right? The people that mostly, hey, thanks so much for the gift. Thank you. I've noticed that the people that actually have success at improving their credit, they actually follow multiple steps. But the people that constantly crash or get stuck at fixing their credit, they're only relying solely on one thing, which is trying to understand how to delete negative items and trying to delete and dispute, delete and dispute. Deleting and disputing is important, but it's not how you fix your credit. I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? So when I show you guys these credit score increases of people going from the 4s to the 5s, from the 5s to the 600 credit score, from the 6 to the 7, and eventually from those people that are going up and getting those 50, 20, 100 point increases, eventually going into the 800 credit score, I want to make sure you guys understand how that actually happens. And I can guarantee you it is not by deleting and disputing, okay? Look, full disclaimer, guys. I am a credit repair company. I help people dispute and delete for a living, okay? But thanks, Benji. I appreciate the gift, man. But that is not how you get those massive credit score increases. There are 3 steps to actually fix your credit, which is the same thing that I did to go from a bankruptcy in 2018 to now having over $150,000 in credit limits. So this is what I teach my students, and this is what I'm going to try to teach you guys in the next 5-10 minutes. Now, with that said, the 3 different steps are understanding how negative items are deleted. Second step is going to be how to build your credit using proven strategies of growth where you guys get to see those massive credit score increases. And the third step is going to be how to learn how to manage every penny that comes in and out of your pocket. Right now, I'm just going to focus on step number 2. Earlier, when I was live, I showed you guys how negative items are deleted off of a credit report. But right now, I'm going to focus specifically on how to build up those credit scores. Now, with that said, I want to show you guys this. This person, this student right here, you guys see on that screenshot on the screen, they got 32 negative items removed right off of the credit report. But look at that credit score. It only went up by what? No more than 10 points. But how about this one right here? This student of mine got 0 items deleted, but that credit score went up over 50 points per credit bureau, 82 points on Equifax, 76 on Experian, and 74 on TransUnion. So how does that actually happen? By building your credit using proven strategies of growth. And one of the easiest ones that you can start implementing today, I'm going to teach it to you. Absolutely. It has to do with utilization, right? There are different strategies out there that you can take to try to improve your credit. But one of the easiest ones, and the one that you really want to home into, is credit card utilization, because this is something that you're going to use for the rest of your life. If you know you're going to use a credit card for the rest of your life, that's the one that you want to home in on. Thanks for the gifts, guys. I appreciate TikTok. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. Now, with that said, guys, I'm going to teach you what I teach my students. I take weeks, if not months, implementing this strategy with them, having them learn it completely inside out and learn how to dissect it and create a result. I'm going to try to teach you guys in the next 5 to 10 minutes how this specifically works. So if you feel a little lost, it's okay. Try to keep up with me. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to try to cram up as much information as I can in your brains right now. So if you feel like, dude, like I'm falling behind, it's okay. Just try to keep up, okay? Now, with that said, I want your guys' helps in the comments, okay? We're streaming on TikTok. We're streaming on YouTube as well. Super cool. With that said, guys, hit me with a T for true or an F for false in the comments. If Ricardo maxes out his credit cards, that is going to trigger Ricardo's credit score to decrease. T for true or F for false. If Ricardo maxes out his credit cards, that is going to trigger Ricardo's credit score to decrease. Let me know T for true or F for false in the comments. In the meantime, TikTok is asking, I'm trying to get rid of a closed account. It's been on my credit for 7+ years. Jojo, when are you counting that 7+ year from? Let me know. Are you counting it from the day that you opened the account, or are you counting it from the day that it actually began reporting late on your credit? which is when you should start counting it by, okay? Now, with that said, guys, the answer is false. Maxing out your credit cards is not the triggering factor that brings your credit score down. It's a combination of two different things. It's a maxed out balance on your statement closing date. Absolutely, yeah. Is it Drew? You're 100% correct. You need to pay your balances down on the statement closing date. But why? Why does the statement closing date matter so much? Why are we not focusing on the due date right here for this strategy? Why are we focusing on the statement closing date? Can anyone tell me in the comments, what's the reason why your credit card statement closing date is so important or so crucial to your credit score growing or dropping? Let me know your answer in the comments, okay? Yeah, when you open the account, no. You don't count it from the day that you open the account. You count it from the day you were ever first late. So in that case, like I always have students tell me, Ricardo, like this collection should be removed. It's so old that you have to count it for the day that the account was first delinquent, okay? Okay. So the reason, guys, the reason why your statement closing date is so important or so crucial to your credit score either growing or dropping is because that is the day that your credit card company is going to report your balances to the big three credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So if on your credit card statement closing date, your credit card balances are past a certain percentage of credit usage, guess what's going to happen? Your credit score is going to go down, okay? Now, this box that you guys see right here, YouTube, I'm sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at here because I have it on TikTok in my background, but there's something in your credit card statements called a summary activity. This box right here tells a story of what you've been doing over the last 30 days with your credit cards. The fact that a lot of you guys don't know how to read this box is costing you so many points. You are leaving at least 25, and some of you guys are leaving as many as 100 points on the table. Now, if you don't believe me, that is okay. Why do you think these people's credit scores are going up? Why? That person went up 25 points, that person went up 40 points, that person went up 115 points, so on and so forth, because they understood the concept that I'm trying to teach you right here about statement closing dates. Now, with that said, let's dig into this little box. Let's learn to dissect it so you can use this stuff to your advantage. Can you bounce back from a 520? Absolutely. I was able to bounce back from a 537, from a 437. So if I could do it, why can't you do it? Okay. Now, with that said, let's take a look at this, okay? So this is my credit card statement for my Navy Federal Flagship Rewards credit card, which is this one right here, okay? Now, let's look at this data right here. Based on this information, I have a $25,000 limit, right? And then during this statement period, I used over $12,000 in purchases. Now, before you tell me, Ricardo, why are you going out there and spending money like crazy? I used to use this credit card for my business. So everything that you guys see here as purchases, it wasn't really for me. Now I use my American Express Platinum for my business, etc. Anyways, so I used over $12,000 in purchases, right? So if you compare $25,000 as a limit to over $12,000 in purchases, that means that I used about 50% of my credit card. Question for you guys, that based on this information that you guys see here on my credit card statement, did that hurt my credit score? Yes or no? Ricardo used over $12,000 in purchases from his credit card. Did that hurt Ricardo's credit score? Yes or no? Let me know your answer in the comments. Let's see. So most people are saying no. What's up, YouTube? We got one person viewing us on YouTube. Thank you so much. This is the first time I ever stream on YouTube, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah. All right. So for the people that are saying yes, unfortunately, you are leaving points on the table. The answer is no. Even though right here, as I show, $25,000 limit, over $12,000 in purchases. A lot of you guys are like, Ricardo, what are you talking about? You use 50% of your credit card. Of course it hurt you. But the answer is no, it did not hurt my credit score by one single point, because let's learn how to read this data together. Okay? Remember, this is your summary activity. It tells what you've been doing with your card over the last 30 days. So if we learn how to analyze this, it says Ricardo has a $25,000 limit. During this statement period, he used over $12,000 in purchases. But you guys see where it says payments right there? It means that I paid that credit card right back before my statement closing date, leaving my balance to only be $10. So let's take a look at this and dissect why is it that it didn't hurt my credit score, okay? So what's the reason why your statement closing date is so important? Again, let's backtrack. I already asked this question in the beginning. What is the reason why a credit card statement closing date is so important? Because that is the date that your credit card companies are going to be reporting your balances to Experian, to TransUnion, and Equifax. And if on that date, my balance is above a certain percentage of credit usage, that's what's going to trigger my credit score to go down, right? but only on my statement closing date. You see, I have 23 different credit cards right here, right? That means that I probably have about 23 different statement closing dates. Now, before you ask me, how do you manage all your credit cards? I don't actively use all of them anymore. Most of them are from my credit building days, $200 limits, $500 limits, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 limits. Now I don't use those credit cards anymore, so they're sitting at a zero balance. Anyways, getting back to what I was explaining right now, I can use my credit card throughout the month. My goal should be to find out when my credit card statement cycles close to ensure I have a very low balance, if not a zero balance, on that date, because that is the date that my credit card company is going to report my balances to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Does that make sense so far? If you feel a little lost, write the word help in the comments, okay? If you feel a little lost right now, write the word help in the comments, okay? And as I showed you guys here, 25, okay, so for the people that are saying help right here on TikTok, okay, so remember, your credit card company is only going to report your balances or update your balances on your credit report only once a month, which happens to be the day that your credit card statement cycle closes. If on that date, okay, thanks so much, I appreciate you. If on that date I am past a certain percentage of credit usage, that is what's going to trigger my credit score down. The date that your credit card balances are reported to your credit report are on your credit card statement closing date. Your goal should be to find out when does your credit card statement cycle close. So for me on this credit card right here, my flagship rewards credit card, it usually closes around the 19th of every single month. I have other credit cards that I use that close in other dates, like the 5th of every single month or around the 5th of every single month, so on and so forth. Okay? So if I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. How is it false information? Let me know in the comments. Why is it that you're coming in and spitting venom out? Well, who hurt you? I'm worried about you. Anyways, I love to give them a little space and a spot, okay? Now, with that said, guys, okay? With that said, I want to make sure you guys understand how this specifically works, okay? So at the end of the day, if your credit card is past a certain percentage of credit usage and that balance gets reported on your credit report, that's what's going to trigger your credit score to go down. Exactly. Okay. Now we've all heard before. Oh, okay, your credit score. Let me see. Help. Okay. Thanks for pinning that, Steve. Let me see. Help. I've had high balances during statement cycle, paid them before closing date, and they reported big. So are you saying, hey, what you're saying is your statement closing date has nothing to do with your balances reporting on your credit report? Is that what you're saying? Now, if this happened to you, if you're saying, hey, dude, I paid off my credit cards before my statement cycle actually closed, but my low balance wasn't reported, it isn't that I'm spreading false information. It's that something happened with your credit report. Now, look, this is what you're doing, bro. You're looking for somebody to point the finger who to blame, and that happens to be me, right? I get it, man. I get the fact that you're pissed that your credit score didn't go up. That has nothing to do with me or the information that I'm giving out to folks, okay? How many of you guys are here above an 800 club? If you guys are here above a 700 or above an 800 credit FICO score, not a credit score, a FICO score, write the word me in the comments. And tell me if you don't follow the rule that I'm about to tell you. Or tell me if you're not following this statement closing utilization rule, okay? 760 FICO, do you report a balance less than 10% every statement cycle? Is what I'm giving people false information? Let me know, call me out in the comments, okay? Because damn, using this strategy got me from $113,000 in charged off credit cards, 2 repossessions in a bankruptcy in 2018, to now having over $167,000 in credit limits to my name. But you're coming over here and you're telling me this is false information. That's okay, bro. You can tell me that I'm spreading false information all day long. Well, those credit scores from my students are increasing all day long. At the end of the day, if somebody hurt you, it wasn't me. But you're looking for somebody to point the finger, and you just happen to come on my TikTok live and tell me, Ricardo, you're spreading false information. It's cool. I get it. Let's keep going because I'm here to help the people that really want to be helped. Okay? So with that said, if you're here trying to find ways to fix your credit, write the word fix in the comments, okay? Tell me again, I just stumbled in this live. I'm literally getting started right now. Guys. I'm giving you guys the formula, the second step that I use with my students to help them increase their credit scores. So when I show you guys those screenshots of that person going up 112 points, 119 points, when that person's going up 25 points, 31 points, 33 points, 40 points, 63, 65. I don't make those credit scores increase. My students do by following the strategy proven and backed up by a fact that I will give you as well. So for those of you guys that are trying to find ways to fix your credit, make sure you stick around, okay? Let me start again for you guys that are just coming in. Adam, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the tiny diny. Now with that said, guys, there's this rule that I stumbled across when I was in the middle of fixing my credit that got me from $200 little secure credit cards all the way to now having over $150,000 in credit limits, okay? They don't report but every 3 months. No, they report this on a monthly basis. Guys, your credit reports change on a daily basis. Every single credit card that you have reports your balance once a month, not every 3 months, once a month only, once a month, which happens to be your statement closing date. Not 3 times, not 4 times during a month, not every 3 months, once a month, okay? That's how the system is created, okay? Now, with that said, your goal should be to make sure that your balances reported on your credit report from your credit cards are very, very low. Now, let's take a look at this credit report right here, or excuse me, this credit statement, credit card statement, okay? This credit card statement is showing you guys a clear picture of what's been happening in my credit card over the last 30 days. Yes, this is old as hell, okay? Same information still applies, okay? Doesn't matter if this statement is 2 years old, 2 months old, or 2 days old. With that said, guys, let's take a look at it. The fact that most of you guys don't know how to dissect this is costing you hundreds of points, okay? So the previous screenshots that I showed you guys of that person going up 100 points, 25, 30, 50, right? Multiple different people, it comes from this. $25,000 limit, and I used over $12,000 in purchases. Question for you guys. Hit me with a yes or no in the comments. The fact that I used 50% of my credit card, did that hurt my credit score? Yes or no? Let me know your answer in the comments, guys. Okay? Based on all this data right here, did this hurt my credit score? Yes or no? For all of you guys that are saying yes, you are leaving so many points on the table. For all of you guys that are saying yes, you guys are literally leaving so many points on the table, okay? I'm telling you, let's take a look at this data, okay? $25,000 limit. So during this statement period, I used over $12,000 in purchases. But you see where it says payments? That means that I turned around and paid that money right back, leaving my balance to only be $10. Now let's backtrack to all this. How does this actually work, okay? Remember, the reason why I point out so much and I drill your credit card statement closing dates is because your credit card statement closing date is going to be the day that your balance is reported or updated on your credit report. How many times does your statement cycle close per month? Once per month. How many does that means that how many times does your balance get updated on your credit report? Once. So I have 23 different credit cards in my hand right here. I have 23 credit cards under my credit profile, which means that I have 23 different statement closing dates, which means that every single one of these credit cards is going to report my balance on my statement closing date. Does everybody follow so far? If you feel a little lost, write the word help in the comments. It is my job to make sure that on my credit card statement closing date, my balance is very, very low, if not zero, okay? That's how this works. Now let's actually get into the next part of making this work for you, okay? With that said, you accidentally let your balance report to zero. So do I. I have 23 credit cards. I don't actively use all 23. I only use 3, no more than 5 per month. So the rest of them are sitting at a zero balance because I'm no longer in my credit building stages, okay? Now with that said, guys, the reason why, even though I used over $12,000 in that statement period, and that never hurt my credit score, is because I made a payment of over $12,000 before my statement closing date. Now, if you guys have been following, you understand that your credit card statement closing date is the day that your credit card balance is reported to the credit bureaus. So out of all these numbers right here, can anyone tell me on my credit card statement closing date, can you guys tell me what was the only number that was reported on my credit report? Was it the 152 and 51 cents? Was it the 12,519 and 56 cents? Was it the negative 90? Was it the 12,467? Or was it, yes, $10. That's it. You guys are getting this. $10. You see, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax never even knew that I used over $12,000 in purchases for that month. Why? Because my credit card company will only report, or your credit card company will only report your balance once per month. Once per month. And if you have a credit card, okay, not enough Red Bull, not enough Red Bull. I need more. I need more. Give me a case of Red Bull. I need more. And if on this date, your credit card company, well, for me, it's this date, right? But if on this date, my credit card balance is going to be very high, that's what's going to trigger my credit score down, okay? Now, guys, we've all heard of the concept, oh, okay, if you're ever going to carry a balance, you should always stay below a certain percentage of credit usage, right? What is that percentage of credit usage that you should always be below if you're ever going to carry balances? So help me fill out the blank here. On your credit card statement closing date, your balance should always be below blank percent. What is that blank percent that I'm looking for here, guys? I got a question. How did my credit score go down when I used one of my credit cards? It could be because of the fact that we're talking about it right now. I don't know. I don't know what your credit report looks like. So it could be because you closed your statement cycle with a really high balance, right? So what is that blank percent that I'm looking at? Look, it's interesting. People are commenting 60%. People are commenting 3%. People are commenting 5%, 30%, right? I keep cutting off. That's weird. Yeah. Am I freezing, guys, or am I good? Now, okay, better now. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Now, with that said, guys, we got to go to the source. Remember, I am not the source of this information. I'm just your coach, your teacher, your mentor, your facilitator, your instructor, whatever you want to call me, okay? FICO is the source. Does everybody understand why FICO is the source? And if you don't know, write the word help in the comments, okay? So this is coming directly from FICO. And FICO is saying some financial experts recommend keeping your credit usage below 30%. However, FICO says, the data doesn't support that, okay? So if you don't know who FICO is the creator of your FICO score. The reason why you want to pay attention to what these guys are saying is because, you know, when you're applying for an auto loan, a home loan, a credit card, okay, 80% of the banks and lenders that you are applying with are actually using FICO to check your credit worthiness, okay? So you want to pay attention to what these guys are saying if you want to take your credit seriously. Now, FICO does say, we don't want to see a balance on your credit cards of more than 30% or below 30%. We want to see a balance reported of less than 10%. How many of you guys do you realize right now, oh shoot, I'm probably leaving points on the table? FICO tells you exactly what they want to see from you to increase your credit score. So if you're doing the opposite, guess what? You're leaving points on the table. So when I go back to those screenshots, what do you think these people were doing? What do you think those credit scores increased? When people are trying to fix their credit, what is the first thing that they go to? I need to delete all of my bad credit. I need to delete my collections, my charge-offs, my bankruptcies, my late payments, my repossessions. Even if by the miracle of God, if Jesus came down himself and wiped your credit clean of all the bad things, I can promise you your credit score is not going to go up if you're not using your credit accounts correctly, guys. I had to go and hit a brick wall and learn this the hard way. What I was trying to do when I was in the middle of fixing my credit was dispute and delete, dispute and delete, dispute and delete. And I was like, why is this not working? Why is it, even though I'm deleting all of my negative items, right? 32 items deleted. Why is it that even though I'm deleting my negative items, why is my credit score going up? And then I came across this concept, which is building your credit using proven strategies of growth. And then I started seeing my credit score grow, getting more credit approval, so on and so forth. So that's why I give you guys this perfectly clear example of 32 items deleted for one of my students, but their credit score is not going up because they're not doing them what I'm telling them to do. Versus this one here, even though nothing is being deleted off of their credit report, no negative items are being removed, that person's still getting a massive credit score increase. Fixing your credit has different steps. Disputing is one of them, but that's not the keys to the kingdom. That's not what's going to get you freedom. Okay, that's just part of the process. How many of you guys here have been trying to fix your credit for a long time and you feel like you've been disputing for a while? Write me in the comments. And those negative accounts are still on your credit. Or for the last 2 or 3 years, your credit score has not moved at all. Write me in the comments, guys. Thank you so much. Okay? Thank you so much for helping me prove my point there. The reason why most of your guys' credit scores aren't going up is because you are not showing banks and lenders or the credit system that you can appropriately handle your credit cards effectively. Guys, I'm going to tell you a big secret about the credit industry. Okay, come here. Okay, banks and lenders don't approve you based on how well you delete bad credit off of your credit report. When have you ever heard a bank say, we're going to approve you because you were so good at deleting all of your collections? Banks and lenders approve you based on how well you are managing your credit accounts. The moment you begin to work towards what I just told you is the moment you're going to start seeing that credit score go up. Is the moment you're going to start seeing credit worthiness come up. Is the moment you're going to start seeing additional credit card approvals, additional credit card offers, so on and so forth. I promise you credit is not difficult, but the fact that a lot of you guys here are trying to fix your credit with the same mentality that you broke it with in the first place, you are making it so much harder on yourself. Think about it like this, okay? I'm going to give you a different perspective, okay? Let's say, for example, one of you guys threw me off right now. How to delete? No, why are you asking that question? Why are you trying to delete your bad credit versus building your credit, okay? Think about it from this perspective, guys, okay? Credit is based on risk. Credit is based on risk, okay? Your job, your goal should be to create a credit profile that shows very little risk. One of the biggest strategies that you can do is what I just taught you right now, the 10% golden rule. Why do you think this person's credit score is not going up, but why do you think that person's credit score is going up, or that person's credit score is going up, so on and so forth, is because they are showing in their credit accounts that they don't need credit cards in order to survive on a monthly basis. Okay? How do I bill? I can't get approved for much because I have no credit history. You should be able to get some sort of secure credit card, okay? My credit is 630 after paying $9,000 in credit cards. That's okay. You might have to rebuild from there, right? So paying down your debt is one thing, right? And that's great. However, now you might have to rebuild. So true. When I get a secure credit card, I started paying off, my credit went up. All right. So now it's not just, it isn't enough to just pay credit cards, guys. You have to know when to pay them so it reports a very low balance or reports very low credit utilization. Right? The moment you start pairing that information up with the appropriate dates on your credit cards, when you apply the 10% golden rule, you should start seeing your credit scores increasing, especially if you were not following that rule before. Okay? What's up, Dan? Good to see you here. Does everybody understand the 10% golden rule? Does everybody understand the reason why these people's credit scores went up 82 points? Why that person went up 100 plus points? That person went up 20. Does everybody know? Or if you guys don't know, write the word help in the comments and then we'll break it down a little bit further, okay? Let me know in the comments, guys. By the way, if you guys want to see if I can work one-on-one with you, if you guys want me to work with you, mentor you, coach you, write your dispute letters, there should be a link on my TikTok bio to book a consultation. Go to my TikTok page, book a free consultation, and then come back to the live. Let me know that you booked, okay? Awesome. All right. So for those of you guys that are just getting here, that don't understand quite the concept of what we're talking about, look, if you're trying to fix your credit, guys, the biggest mistake that I see after working on the credit industry for over 4 years now, the biggest mistake that I see that people are making when it comes to trying to fix their credit is that they're trying to delete everything that's negative off of their credit report, thinking that's the way to fix their credit. In reality, look, hey, what's up, the tax collector? All right. In reality, think about it like this, okay? Now, I am no attorney, and please do not take this as legal advice. Just general common knowledge, guys. Does everybody know that by law, your negative items are going to be on your credit report for the next 7 to 10 years? Do you guys already know that? Does everybody understand that? By law, your negative items, meaning your collections, your charge-offs, your bankruptcies, your late payments, your repossessions, they're going to be on your credit report for the next 7 to 10 years. Doesn't matter how much I whine or cry about it, right? Now, in order for those negative items to report lawfully on your credit, they need to meet a specific criteria. But when those items don't meet that criteria, that's when you and I as consumers have the opportunity to get some of those negative items deleted, okay? So now let's say, for example, none of your negative items actually meet that criteria. Does that mean you can't fix your credit? Does that mean you can't increase your credit scores? No, absolutely not, okay? Negative items, even though they're meant to be on your credit report for the next 7 to 10 years, doesn't mean you're destined to have bad credit for the next 7 to 10 years. And this is what I teach my students. Yes, I do help with the dispute process. I do help with the dispute letters and mailing them out, etc. All right. But my biggest focus is on helping people shift their mindset about how to use credit cards. So for the people that are here that are trying to figure this stuff out, when I show you guys those credit score increases, I want to make sure you guys understand that doesn't come from deletions. Yes, that is important. That is part of the process. But even if that person got 10, 15, 20, 30 items deleted, that doesn't mean that their credit score is going to automatically improve. They have to be using their credit cards correctly. So over the next 2-3 minutes, I want to show you guys how I teach my students. It takes me weeks, if not months, for my students to fully learn this, implement it, and start seeing a result. Okay, so we want to make sure you guys understand and you're all on the same page. Let's see. This question is smart. Is it smart that I pay off my credit cards and close those accounts? It is not smart for the sake of your credit score improving. Your credit score is probably going to drop, Karina, if you pay off your credit cards and close them out. Okay, so if it's easier for you for the sake of your credit, it's up to you. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your money. But if it's for the sake of your credit score, I wouldn't close those credit cards. But yeah. All right, now with that said, guys, let me go back to what I was saying earlier. Okay. Does everybody know what this is? We had a 1 p.m. strategy today. Reschedule? I don't think so. You have not received the text message? It wasn't on my calendar. Let me know in the comments, okay? All right. Does everybody know what this is right here? Does everybody understand it? If you don't know what I have in the background, write the word help in the comments. You got the text? Okay. Let me know if you get a call, okay? Because it wasn't on my calendar. It's probably going to be on Danny's, Maria's, or Victor's. Okay. This is called the credit card statement, guys. Everybody who has a credit card gets one of these once a month, either in the mail or in your email saying, hey, a statement is ready. Okay? Now, with that said, this document right here is very important. And the fact that most of us don't know how to read this because, yep, you booked and you got a text message. Let's go! Awesome! Guys, for those of you guys that want to see if I can work one-on-one with you, there should be a link on my TikTok page. Go to my TikTok page, click the link on the bio, and book a free consultation, okay? Awesome. Now, this here has the potential to increase your credit score by at least 100 points if you know what you're doing, especially if you did not know what you were doing previously, okay? Depending on how you're using your credit cards, your credit score has the potential to grow a lot, grow a little, okay? Everybody's credit profile is different. Now let's take a look at what's going on right here. This is my credit card statement for this credit card right here. Right here. It's my Navy Federal Flagship Rewards credit card, okay? Now, this is called the summary activity. This tells a story of what you've been doing over the last 30 days with your credit accounts, okay? Now, based on this account here, you guys see it has a $25,000 limit. During this statement period, it has, I used over $12,000 in purchases. Question for you guys. The fact that I used over $12,000 in purchases, did that hurt my credit score? Yes or no? Based on all this data right here. Did that hurt my credit score? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Hey, thanks for the follow, guys. You went from 720 to 500 because you lost everything and went into debt. You don't have a credit problem. There's another problem, right? Okay. Okay, so for the people that are saying yes, you're probably leaving a lot of points on the table. For the people that are, let me say that one more time. For the people that are saying yes, Ricardo, that hurt your credit score, you're probably leaving a lot of points on the table. Okay? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Let's understand all this data together, guys. Let's learn how to raise our credit scores up. $25,000 limit. So during this statement period, I used over $12,000 in purchases. So I used over 50% on my credit card, right? However, you guys see where it says payments right there? That means that I turn around and paid that money back, leaving my balance to only be $10. I did all that before this date right here called my statement closing date. Now, what's the reason why your credit card statement closing date is so important? That's because that's the day that your credit card company is going to report your balance to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And if on that date, on my statement closing date, I am past a certain percentage of credit usage, that's what's going to trigger my credit score to go down. However, my credit card usage reported was only $10. My credit card utilization was only $10 on my statement closing date. You see, this means that you can actually use your credit card throughout the month. You can max it out if you want to, and I'm not promoting you get into debt. If you don't have the money back to pay back your debt, why are you using credit cards in the first place? But I could have maxed out the credit card if I wanted to, as long as I bring my balance down prior to my statement closing date. So it didn't matter if I used $12,000, didn't matter if I used $20,000 or $28,000 or $2, as long as I bring my credit card balance down. So by the time that my statement cycle closes, my balance reported is going to be very low. Are you guys following? Remember, write the word help in the comments if you feel a little lost. Everything that I'm trying to teach you guys here over the last 2 minutes It takes me weeks, if not months, for my students to fully implement it and comprehend it, apply it, and create a result. If you feel confused or lost, that's okay. I'm trying to cram up a lot of information right here. Okay? Statement date is the date that your balance is going to be reported on your credit report. Due date is completely different. Is when your minimum payment at least is due by. Completely different dates. Both are very important. Right now I'm concentrating only on one thing. Statement date. What's the reason your statement cycle is so important? Your closing date? It's because that's the day your balance and utilization is going to be reported and calculated. Okay? So you guys should already be picking up that there's a difference between these two dates. Statement closing date and payment due date. Both important, completely different. How do you find out the closing statement date? How is it that I'm showing you the statement closing date on my credit card? By looking at the credit card statement, right? There's different ways. This is just one of them. Okay? This is just one of them. I'm looking at my credit card statement closing date. So you can do the same for yours, right? You can call your credit card company if that's what you want to do, right? So yeah. All right, cool. Now remember, guys, so we just understood the concept, okay? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can call, look, it gets a little, how many credit cards do you guys have right now? This part gets a little harder when you have more than 2 credit cards, because that means that you have to make multiple phone calls or you have to look at multiple credit card statements, okay? I have 23 different credit cards. If I was actively using all 23 of them, I would have to look for 23 different statement closing dates. That would be a freaking nightmare, right? Yeah, you have no credit cards? Okay, got it. 12 credit cards. Okay, got it. 3. Okay, cool. There you go, guys. So now you guys have some homework to do, right? Find out when your statement cycle closes. So we just understood the concept. Oh, okay, I can use my credit card throughout the month as long as my balance reported is below of a specific percentage, right? You never want to go above a specific percentage, right? So if you're ever going to close a credit card statement with a balance, how much should you stay below? So help me fill out the blank here. On your credit card statement closing date, your balance should always be below blank percent. What is that blank percent that I'm looking for here, guys? What's up, brother? Good to see you here, man. All right, so people are saying 30%, 10%. 30, 10, okay. Well, let's go back to the source. Remember, guys, I am not the source. I'm just the facilitator. I'm your teacher, I'm your instructor, I'm your coach, I'm your Sherpa, whatever you want to call me, right? Remember, I showed you guys the source earlier, right? For those of you guys that are just joining us, here's the source. FICO's the source. FICO wants to see a balance below 10%. So unfortunately, everybody that said 30%, unfortunately, that's not what FICO wants to see from you. It says right here, financial experts recommend keeping your credit usage below 30%. However, FICO says, unfortunately, the data doesn't actually support that. We don't want to see a balance on your credit cards reported below 30%. FICO says we want to see a balance reported below 10%. I don't care if your balance is 0. I don't care if your balance is 1%, if it's 3, if it's 5. As long as you don't pass a 10% balance reporting on your credit reports the date that your credit card statement cycle closes. How many of you guys just realized, dang, I'm leaving a lot of points on the table right now? Write the word me in the comments, okay? This is what I coach and teach my students to. This is one of the different strategies that you can begin using today to start increasing your credit score, okay? Guys, for those of you guys that are saying, because I see this a lot, I need help with my credit, I need help with my credit. If you guys want to connect with me, there should be a link on my page. Go to my TikTok page, click the link on my TikTok bio, and book a free consultation. Let's talk about what's going on with your credit, and if my program makes sense for you, if you want to become one of my students, if you want to help, if you want me to help you write your dispute letters, etc., book that free consultation. The link is on my TikTok bio. Let's talk about what's going on with your credit. The same thing for the people on YouTube. There should be a link on this YouTube live right now for you guys to book a free consultation, okay? Perfect. All right. So let's see here. Where can I find the date on my statement for Capital One? It should either say statement closing date, or it should have like an opening date and a closing date. So if you look at your credit card statement, it should tell you right there, okay? And if you can't find it for whatever reason, just call your credit card company and they'll be able to tell you. Is that 10% total or per credit card? So it's going to be overall for your credit cards. Look, I have 23 different credit cards. I don't use every single one. 17 of them or so are sitting at a zero balance because they're little credit cards that don't offer me any benefits. $200 secure credit cards, $500 credit limits, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 credit limits. I no longer use those credit cards because they don't offer me any rewards compared to my other higher perk reward credit cards, right? So with that said, I want to make sure that every single one of my credit cards that I'm going to use is below that 10% threshold. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. So from what you spend, you pay back all before closing. Yes! Thank you so much for simplifying this for us. Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much for that question on TikTok. So what I'm saying is anything that you're spending, you want to pay it all back before the statement closing date. So when I go back, guys, by the way, a quick side note, FICO says for the people that are asking, what about zero? Is it okay to pay your credit cards down to zero? That's fine if that's what you wish to do, okay? It says here, you want to be careful about having a utilization less than 0% or of 0% because it signifies that you are not using your credit cards. Now it says, your credit score, your FICO scores won't drop significantly. However, it can prevent you from achieving maximum points, right? So look, having a 0% balance reported on your credit cards is better than having a 30% balance reported on your credit cards. However, what FICO's telling us with this is that, hey, we're going to give you a higher credit score if you have a balance between 1 and no more than 10% versus a balance of 0. So if you wish to do so, try experimenting with different utilization ratios and see if your credit scores increase over time like that, right? So yeah, there is a spot that I keep my credit cards and that I coach my students to keep their credit cards at as well. So yeah, and when I show you guys those screenshots of our students of their credit scores increasing, that's the sweet spot that I'm talking about, okay? But the general rule of thumb is what I've been talking to and what I've been teaching you guys to, which is the 10%. Okay, that's what I love to call the 10% golden rule, which means that, hey, on your credit cards, if you're not previously using this strategy, and by the way, if you guys are wondering, well, Ricardo, what's the sweet spot? Here's a dead giveaway. Here is a dead giveaway. All you guys have to do is just kind of like create the utilization percentage. Okay, if you guys are good with math, this is an easy one for you. If you guys struggle a little bit with math, you're going to kind of scratch your head up a little bit more, but yeah. But could I have, for those of you guys that are like, well, Ricardo, why didn't you just pay your credit card down to 0? I could have, but I chose to left a $10 balance to rack up as many points as I could, okay? That was in the middle of my credit building stages. I am no longer in my credit building stages. I'm more like maintaining now, so I no longer usually do that. How many of you guys here are afraid to use credit cards because you're afraid to get it into debt? Write me in the comments. Or how many of you guys just use your credit cards once a month for gas and groceries? Write me in the comments. Okay? Yeah, for those of you guys that have that fear of like getting into debt and stuff like that, or using your credit cards only once a month for gas and groceries, you don't have a credit card problem. There's an underlying issue. It usually has to do with money management, okay? You're scared, but you're learning. Okay, very cool. Very cool. So are you saying to accrue interest? No, I'm not promoting you that you get into debt, but thank you for pointing this out, okay? What I'm telling you is that if you want to increase your credit score to its fullest potential based on something called amounts owed, meaning the amounts that you owe on your credit cards, FICO is telling you that they will like to see a balance between 1 and no more than 10%. Now, if you're like, F that, I am not paying 1 penny in interest, pay down to 0. That's all, yeah? It's up to you. It's up to you. Like if you're in the place where you need to build your credit and you're trying to rack up as many points as possible, you will choose to follow that strategy, right? But if you're like, dude, I'm in the 750 FICO score, I'm in the 850 FICO score, I don't need to worry about that anymore, 100% I agree with you. Pay off your credit cards to 0 if that's what you wish to do. You know what I mean? It's really based on what your preference is. Like, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do with your money. We're all big boys and big girls here, right? We all understand what's best for us and our family. So yeah. Why would anyone want to pay interest? Great question. Why would anyone want to pay interest right now? If you're saying, Ricardo, why are you paying 5 pennies in interest of this $10 right here? I don't mind paying $5 5 cents in interest for the sake of having a higher credit score. That's okay with me. But you see how it's a personal preference, right? Your personal preference is, Ramona, why would you ever want to pay 5 cents in interest on those $10? That's okay with me, right? It's all based on where you are at in life at the end of the day, right? So yeah, you cannot pay $0. Let's see here. You can not pay to $0 and still not pay interest, right? So you can have a $0 balance and incur 0 interest. That's totally fine, right? But yeah. At the end of the day, it's kind of like what you choose, right? So it's where are you in life? Are you trying to rack up every single point available to you so you can increase your credit score because you're trying to qualify for a house, etc.? Or are you no longer in the credit building stages, right? So yeah, and guys, like I go, these are all great, valid questions. I go through these questions almost on a daily basis with my students, right? So yeah, can you read my question? Let's see here. Can you read what was your question? I'm trying to find it, but I'm trying to get back to it. Okay. I don't have. Okay, is this one it? Whoops. Is this one it right here? It says here, I don't have credit. How can I get some? Very cool. Okay. Let me answer this question based on how I got credit. Well, first of all, guys, after my bankruptcy, as I told you, how many of you guys are new here? How many of you guys are new? If you guys are new to my channel, write the word new in the comments. I want to give you guys a quick proper welcome so you can find out who I am and what I do and why are we doing these TikTok lives in the first place, right? So first of all, guys, my name is Ricardo. I'm a certified credit score consultant, which means that I went through extensive training to understand complex credit situations for you, simplify them, and give you all this information and knowledge in a friendly to understand format so you can go out there and create a difference for you, your family, your lifestyle, etc. Right? I do these TikTok lives, I do these YouTube lives every single day for you guys. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you turn on the notifications because I do these lives for you guys every single day, Monday through Friday. Now, with that said, guys, if you don't know my background story, etc., I was actually once in debt with $113,000 in charged off credit, 2 repos, and a bankruptcy in 2018. But now, fast forward to 2024, I have over $150,000 in limits. So how did I do it? How did I get credit when nobody wanted to give me credit? How many of you guys can't get approved for more than $1,000 limit credit card right now? Write me in the comments. If you can't get approved for more than $2,000 right now, write me in the comments. More than 5,000, write me in the comments. Okay? More than 10. More than $25,000 in limits, write me in the comments. Everybody that's writing me, you guys are already one up from me when I first started improving my credit. Nobody wanted to give me a credit card. Nobody. Matter of fact, my credit was so bad, the banks would tell me, Ricardo, you have a proven track record that you don't know how to handle your money. You don't know how to repay back your debt. You can't keep up with your accounts. Okay? So everybody was telling me no. So I had to go to something called secure credit cards. Secure credit cards is when you put your own money down as a security deposit. And then in exchange, the bank gives you an account. They give you a credit card to try to prove yourself once more. So if you feel like you can't get approved for something right now, try going with a secure credit card. If you Google Discover It credit cards or Discover It secure credit card, you can use their pre-approval tool to see if you can qualify for a secure credit card. If you Google Capital One secure credit cards, you can do the same thing, okay? Guys, Leisha or anybody, if you guys want me to work one-on-one with you, there should be a link on my TikTok page to book a consultation. Go to my TikTok page, click the link on the bio, book a free consultation, select the time that you want us to give you a call. We'll go over your credit report together, explain how the program works, and if it makes sense for you to jump into the program, we'll go from there. So anybody here that needs help with their credit, if you guys want me to coach you, mentor you, write your dispute letters on your behalf, send them out, go for it, okay? Okay, which score is the most commonly used for lenders? I'm building credit and I have a 590 on 9.0, 633 on 8.0. So here's a funny one. The most widely used right now is FICO 8. That's the most widely used FICO score right now. However, that doesn't mean that's the latest. FICO 9 has come out, FICO 10, FICO 10T, right? They're going to adapt newer FICO scores over time, but just like a credit card is a product, FICO scores are also products. So FICO's going out there and selling this to lending institutions saying, hey, look, we just created this FICO score, FICO 9, FICO 10, FICO 10T, right? Would you like to adapt one of these newer ones? So yeah, why so many FICO scores? Great question. So what FICO does is FICO actually researches and studies financial behaviors of consumers. So as you guys know, as we went through a pandemic, our financial behavior changed, right? So as we're going through I think we're going through a recession, right? So I'm no analytic of finances, so I don't know this crap, right? But as we're going through these changes, financially speaking, our behavior as consumers tend to change. So FICO studies the behavior of consumers and they come out with new scores that are adapting to today's economy. I hope that makes sense. That was a great question, by the way. And the reason why I know this and I feel like, oh, dude, like I could answer that is because I actually just got back from Credit Card where literally last week, I got back from Credit Card and FICO was doing a presentation exactly on this. So yeah. Is Chime a good credit builder? You know what? I personally don't like Chime, but that's just my personal preference. I had 2 students whose credit scores decreased because Chime did something on their credit utilization. They matched up their utilization from the previous month to the newest one, making their credit score go down. Yeah. Why did my available credit 29,000 drop to 28,400? Either because you spent some money on it or because your credit card company lowered your credit limit. That's why. How can we pull a report from FICO? Wait, well, FICO is a credit score. It's not a credit report. So you can pull your credit report from almost anywhere, right? You can get it from annualcreditreport.com. You can get it from Smart Credit. You can get it from the Experian app, right? But that's just your credit report. Think about it like this. There are 2 different things, guys. Your credit report tells all the data of what's going on in your personal finances over the last 7 to 10 years. Your FICO scores are a calculation model that inputs some of that data from your credit report and out the other end spits out a FICO score, right? So in reality, you don't get a FICO credit report. FICO is just a model. FICO is just a risk factor, right? So yeah, I just got approved for Discover. What's my next step? Make sure you find out when your statement cycle closes and make sure that your balance is always below 10% when the statement cycle closes. Experian, yep, Experian gives you your FICO 8 for free, absolutely. And you guys can actually get a copy, or excuse me, you guys can actually get your FICO 8 for free from Equifax by downloading the My FICO app and using the free version. How do you get your FICO score? If you guys wanted to get all of your FICO scores, if you guys wanted to, I don't believe in paying for FICO scores, honestly. And I teach my students, hey, look, don't glorify a FICO score. Anytime you want to increase or improve your credit score, you don't work on a credit score, you work on your credit report. But that's just me. Now, if you guys wanted to see, hey, Ricardo, how can I get all my FICO scores? If you download the My FICO app, it costs $40 a month just to check your FICO scores. That's crazy to me. I'd rather spend those $40 with my kids. But anyways, right. That's just me, right? I mean, and I do this for a living, but yeah. How do I dispute hard inquiries? My friend, hard inquiries are not the issue. Why do you have so many hard inquiries? Usually when people approach me for help with their credit, they say, Ricardo, I have 20 hard inquiries. Why do you have so many hard inquiries? Oh, it's because I try applying. I'm like, okay, you don't have an inquiry issue. You have a credit deficiency issue. I'd rather work with you on what's going on with your credit, the reason why you can't get approved in the first place, and worry about the hard inquiries later. Because the fact that you have so many hard inquiries is telling me that you're trying to get approved for something that you cannot, right? So, I mean, you could always challenge them, right? But yeah, you have federal school loans. Got it. Are they in deferment? What's going on? Are they in default? Let me know in the comments, okay? Is closing accounts bad for credit? Yes. So let's say, for example, look. So right now my credit limits are about 167,500, something like that, right? Let's say that if this credit card right here, let me pick this one right here. Let's say if my Chase Sapphire Preferred has a credit limit of 50,000, which it doesn't, but let's say that if it has a credit limit of 50,000, and if my credit limits are 167,000, I would remove, by closing this, I would remove $50,000 from my overall credit limits, making my credit utilization instantly go up, making my credit score go down. How do you challenge the hard inquiries? With the credit bureaus. You dispute them with the credit bureaus. Best bank to get an auto loan from? Establish a relationship with a credit union. Credit unions are the best for getting auto loans, okay? I did my last auto loan with Navy Federal. Got approved within 24 hours for $50,000. I didn't even have to show my pay stubs or anything, man. Super cool, super quick. You got denied for a car loan for Bank of America. Establish a relationship with a credit union, guys. Oh my gosh, so I shouldn't close my Chime account? So look, it really depends on what's best for you. So I have 23 credit cards, like I told you guys. A lot of them, I don't use them anymore. Like, for example, this one right here, right? So this is my Credit One Platinum card. I don't use this account anymore. This is an old-ass account that has a $1,000 limit credit card. My Venture One, I no longer use this credit card. It's got a $3,700 credit limit. I get higher perks and rewards using my American Express Platinum, using my American Express Gold, using my my Venture X credit card. You know what I mean? So I'm going to close some of those accounts at some point, but I just haven't yet. But yes, my credit will go, my credit will have a negative impact when I close those accounts. So how do I increase my FICO score? Remember, guys, When you're trying to increase your credit scores or your FICO score, you don't work on your FICO score, you work on what's going on in your credit report. So the first thing that I would do if I was your coach, if I was your teacher, if I was your mentor, if I was your instructor, and your question was, Ricardo, how can I improve? Can you tell me what can I do? It would be, let's look at your credit report. Where do you have deficiencies, right? So for example, if your credit utilization reporting on your credit cards exceeds the 10% golden rule that I just talked to you guys about over the last 20, 30 minutes, that would be the first place that I need to start, right? Like, hey, you got to work on bringing these balances down. Now, how many of you guys have a lot of credit debt? How many of you guys have a lot of credit debt right now? Write the word debt in the comments, where you feel like you've been trying to pay it for a number of years, but no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get it down. Write me in the comments if that's happening to you, okay? Or write the word debt in the comments. And by the way, if you guys want to see if I can work one-on-one with you on your credit, there should be a link on my page to book a free consultation, okay? Okay, so for the viewers that have a lot of credit debt, I want to make sure you guys understand this, okay? Look, there are ways for you to be able to improve your credit even if you have debt, but you have to work on paying some of that debt down. This is where people get stuck. Now, I am no financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. We're all adults here, okay? We're all big boys and big girls, right? So we know what's best for us and our family, financially speaking. Now, some people will be like, Ricardo, I don't have $12,000 to make a payment on my credit card. I totally get that, right? The reason why I teach step number 3 in my credit coaching program, which is understanding how to manage every penny that comes in and out of your pocket, is because of this very reason. Most of us have a lot of credit debt and we don't have $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 laying around to pay our debt. However, we can work towards paying down our debt in a very strategic manner. Question for you guys. And look, I hope you guys understand. How many of you guys feel like I'm giving you guys gems and knowledge and like wisdom? How many of you guys feel like, dude, like this is where I want to be right here on this TikTok live? I want to continue learning. Let me know if that's for real. Okay, I hope you guys know I'm being as truthful and as transparent as I can, because this is the stuff that helps my students. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to ask you to be transparent with me. Okay, with the following question: how many of you guys here know how much you pay a month for your rent or for your mortgage, for your car loan, maybe your car insurance and your cell phone? But everything else, you have no idea why you end up with no money or why you are living paycheck to paycheck every month. How many of you guys are here? How many did I just describe your lifestyle right now? I want you to be honest and transparent with me. Okay? This is why I coach the 3rd step, which is understanding how to manage every penny that comes in and out of your pocket, guys. Okay? The reason why most of us get into a lot of credit debt or cannot pay back our debt after a number of years, and we're like, what the hell? I've been making payments. Why isn't my debt going down? Is because we don't know how to budget. This is probably the world's most unsexiest thing, but it's the most helpful thing to what I just described. Okay? This is what I teach my students. I cannot tell you what to do with your money, but through my mistakes of me being in debt $113,000 in credit card debt and with repossessions, I can teach you that if I was able to increase my credit, if I was able to actually better my habits on spending by following something called a budget, why can't you do it? I'm not special. All I had to do was learn how to use this spreadsheet. I type in my income, I type in my expenses, and then I begin to type in where my money is going. If I go to Stater Brothers and I use my credit card for $250 at Stater Brothers, I type it in as part of my transactions and I categorize it under my expenses, groceries, so on and so forth. So before you know it, you have this entire disclosing document telling you and showing you exactly where all of your money is going. I used to think that $150 a week was enough in California for groceries. And then as I was typing in my groceries, I was like, oh my gosh, I spent $280 this week in groceries. It wasn't realistic. I had to readjust my budget. So before you know, if you don't know where your money's going, this is what you need, okay? For all of you guys that use apps, budgeting apps, I love budgeting apps, but you are probably not understanding the entire in and out of the budgeting app. If the budgeting app is doing everything automatically for you, you have no worry and you have no sense of how much you're actually spending at what categories, okay? So this is exactly what I teach my students as well. And this is why I tell you guys, step number 3 of fixing your credit is understanding where every penny is going. Okay? I'm going to ask this one more time. How many of you guys need help with all of this? How many of you guys need help with my 3 steps of fixing your credit? Understanding how to remove negative items and why, building your credit using proven strategies of growth, and understanding how to manage your money. Guys, for those of you guys that want me to partner up one-on-one with you on this entire thing, book a consultation. This is the last time I'm going to say it before we end the live. If you guys go to my TikTok page, if you click on my picture up here, click on it once it comes up again, it should take you here where you can click on my link tree. If my link tree is not there, click on my Instagram. My Instagram has my link tree. Okay? So once you click on the Instagram or the link tree, excuse me, give this a few seconds to load and click where it says free credit consultation. And then from there, you can book a free consultation where you can select the time that you want us to give you a call. We'll go over your credit report together. I want to listen to what the goals and challenges are that you're having with your credit. And if it makes sense for you to jump into our program, then we'll go from there. If you guys do decide to jump into the program, I give you access to my credit coaching course where you can look at all the over 40 videos that I have regarding how credit repair works, how to build your credit, how I set up my infrastructure of my starter accounts, my more intermediate accounts, and my more advanced accounts. And I show you guys the budgeting, how that works. I give you guys the budgeting template so you can just simply download. If you guys have a Google account, you download the budget template straight into your Google account. It appears on your Google account. You start filling it up with your bills. Okay, my rent is this. Okay, my groceries is this. Okay, my insurance is this, so on and so forth. Thanks. I just jumped into the program. Let's go. Cindy, tell everybody, was it easy or was it hard? Who's your agent? Let me know in the comments. Is it Jessica? Is it Maria? Is it Diana? Is it Joanna? Let people know in the comments, okay? So yeah. What if credit is good, but I'm interested in the Excel? So if you're just in at that point, that's fine. Book a consultation. Let me know what's going on, and then maybe we can work within your budget in regards of that, okay? Awesome. Also, if you're like, no, dude, I don't want the actual, you know what? Send me a DM. Send me a DM of what's going on. About the person that just said, I want the Excel sheet. Send me a DM of what's going on. Okay? Guys, for those of you guys that want to see, hey, Ricardo, how much is the program? How much is the coaching? Book a consultation. The link is on my bio. Okay? Anytime for some reason that I talk about pricing here, I get kicked out. So FICO went down after paying your credit cards. Well, what was your previous utilization reported before you pay your credit cards? Awesome, you just booked your consultation. Let's go. Can't wait to talk to you. Let me know in the comments, okay? What is your credit? Oh my gosh, Misty, I love this question. I love this question, okay? Guys, okay. So, you know what? Starbucks on me. Whoever gets this question right, Starbucks on me, guys. Okay? I have over $157,000 in credit. I have about $167,500 right now. What do you think my credit score is at? Where do you think a person has to be to just simply get over $100,000? If you guys can match, look, I have 3 FICO scores that I mainly look at, right? If you guys can actually guess my FICO score, Starbucks on me today. Let's see. Man, even if you don't know what a FICO score is, you better put a number down in there. Steve, if you see it, let me know, man, because you know what my FICO score is at. Okay? Oh, you guys are going to get a crack out of this. Well, FICO scores only go to 850. So whoever said 900, unfortunately, nobody has a 900 FICO score, right? It only goes up to 850. It goes from 300 to 850. Okay. No one? Oh, no! Okay. Okay, guys. So check this out. 167,000 plus in credit limits. Thanks so much. I appreciate the gift. Okay. And this is the reason why I tell you guys, this is the reason why I tell my students, don't focus on a FICO score. It's about what's going on their credit report, okay? My FICO score, according to Equifax, is 712, and according to Experian, is 698. How many of you guys have a higher FICO score than I do, but you don't have half of my $167,000 in credit limits? Let me know in the comments. That goes to show that having good credit isn't about having a high FICO. Matter of fact, before I even finish that sentence, how many of you guys are above a 700 FICO score and continue to get declined for the things that you want? Write me in the comments. This goes to show that when it comes to FICO scores FICO isn't exactly the most important thing. FICOs are great. A high FICO score is awesome. Okay, don't get me wrong. But banks and lenders want to see what's going on with your credit report. Okay? I told you guys that when you fix your credit, it isn't about deleting and disputing everything that's negative. That's part of the process, right? So yeah. So anyways, you guys are going to get a kick out of that. I have no problem disclosing like what my FICO scores are, etc. So yeah. You did notice that all your FICO scores are different. There you go. Yeah, guys, I do want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Steve, as always, thank you for keeping the positive vibes going. YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with me. That one viewer that I have, you know what? Let me give you a shout out, man. Let me see if I can actually see who my viewer is on YouTube. Let me see. I can't see. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And for those of you guys that are like, Ricardo, hey, how can I get your help? How can I get you to work one-on-one with me on my credit? How can I get your coaching? How can I get your teachings? How can I get into your credit coaching course? How can I download your budgeting templates? Guys, there's a link on my TikTok page for you guys to book a free consultation. It's the relationship with you and how you use your credit. On-time payments matter a lot. There you go. I couldn't have said this better myself. And that's the reason why I have over $150,000 in credit limits, because I understood what qualities banks and lenders wanted to see from me. FICO tells you what they want to see from you, by the way. If you guys want to know the secret, FICO tells you what banks want to see from you. Okay, go to the FICO website and research all this. All I do as a coach, as a teacher, as a mentor, as an instructor is I take all that information and I tell people, hey, let's understand, let's learn all this together. Let's implement it. How does that look if we were to translate all that complex information into your credit report, right? So then people begin understanding, oh, okay, my credit card statement closing dates, I've never been paying attention to that. Oh my gosh, my utilization report has been 80%, 60%, right? 75%, 90%. Let's change that, right? How do we change that? Okay, by bringing down the balances. Oh, but I don't know how to bring down my balances. We got to make payments on it, right? We got to pay more and spend less on it. Oh, well, I don't know how to do that because I don't have a lot of money. Or you got to learn how to budget. You guys see how it's all connected? That's why I tell people there are 3 steps to fixing your credit, okay? ¿Tú cobras por mes por ayudarme? Sí. All right. So yeah, guys, do you have trade lines that I can get from you? No, I do not believe in selling trade lines, my friend. If you have a family member that can add you into their trade line as an authorized user, by all means. But I don't believe in telling people, hey, go spend $300, $500, $800 to be added as an authorized user on somebody's credit card. But that's just my personal thoughts. It's up to you guys if that's what you want to do. So, but yeah, guys. So thank you so much for the people. Let me give a last shout out of the day for the people that just booked those consultations, guys. Let me see appointments. Let me see who booked appointments with me. Appointments. Okay, so shout out to, let's see. Shout out to Andrew, Haseen. Shout out to Mariana, Sharika, and Josan. Thank you guys so much for booking those one-on-one consultations. I really appreciate every single one of you guys for booking those one-on-one calls, guys. And for those of you guys who want to see, Ricardo, can you help me fix my credit? Link is on my bio, guys. Go to my TikTok page and click the link on my TikTok